Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Naraj Academy. The main aim of this lecture is to discuss about the mathematics previous year questions of PSUs in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever we upload a new video, the direct notification comes on mobile. If any improvements needed in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. Please do watch all our videos in the YouTube itself so that our channel can reach to more number of students. I hope you will do it. So let's get started. So now we are going to solve the 31st question. See the question here. Limit x tends to 0, x into log of sin x is. So we have to find what is the value of the limit x tends to 0, x into log of sin x we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option A, 0 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in this question, basically we need to find what is the value of the limit x tends to 0, x into log of sin x with a base e we need to figure out. So now I am going to substitute the value of x is equal to 0 in this equation. Then I am going to get this is 0 into sin 0 is 0. So log 0 base e. So log 0 base e is called as it is equal to e to the minus infinity. So therefore 0 into minus infinity. I can write this is other way also, which is minus infinity by 1 by 0. It is also equal to 0 into minus infinity. So 1 by 0 is again infinity. So therefore minus infinity by infinity, this we are going to call it as the indeterminate form. So whenever the function is in the indeterminate form, then we are going to apply the LHospital rule. So therefore basically the rule of the LHospital rule, which is limit x tends to a f of x by g of x. Whenever if you are going to substitute the value of limit x is equal to 0 in this f of x and g of x, if we are going to get 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity form, then we are going to call it as the indeterminate. Then we have to apply the basically LHospital rule, which is it is equal to then limit x tends to a f dash of x by g dash of x. Again if you substitute here, still if you are going to get g infinity by infinity, again you have to apply the LHospital rule again until you are going to get a non-zero, or we can say not in indeterminate form. So therefore the solution should be in a determinate form. So therefore you have to apply, still you are going to get a solution in a determinate form. Therefore here is it is a indeterminate form, so you have to apply the LHospital rule. So therefore I am going to modify this function like this, which is limit x tends to 0 log sin x base e. I can write x as divided by 1 by x. Still you are going to get the same result. So now as I already told you, this is going to give you minus infinity by infinity. This is basically as non form. So now I am going to apply the LHospital rule. I am going to do the derivative of this function, which is 1 by sin x into cos x, by I am going to do the derivative of the 1 by x. It is nothing but minus 1 by x square. So cos x by sin x is cot x. So minus 1 by x square. So now if you are going to substitute this x is equal to 0, cot 0 is infinity, minus 1 by 0 square is again minus infinity. Still this is in a indeterminate form. Then again you have to apply the LHospital rule. So therefore limit x tends to 0. For cot x, the differentiation is minus cosecant square x, whereas minus 1 by x square differentiation is 2 by x cube. So now again we have to substitute the x is equal to 0. So cosec 0 whole square is, because cosec 0 is 1, so 1 square is again 1, but 2 by 0 cube. So 2 by 0 cube is nothing but again infinity. So therefore minus 1 by infinity is again 0. So you are going to get some finite value or some value we are going to get. So this is the correct solution of this question. So 0 is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 32nd question. See the question here. If x is equal to e to the power of y plus e to the power of y plus, and it goes on up to infinity, then what is the value of the dy by dx? So we have to find what is the value of the dy by dx. So out of these four options, option B is the correct solution of this question, which is 1 minus x by x. So let's solve this numerical. Since the question they are given that the x is equal to e to the power of y plus e to the power of y plus e to the power of y, it goes on up to infinity, then we have to find what is the value of the dy by dx we need to figure out for this question. See, suppose there is a infinity, you are going to subtract minus from the infinity, it is nearly equal to infinity. So therefore what I am going to do is here x is equal to e to the power of y plus, you can see clearly, if you remove this one and if you see clearly, it is nearly equal to x, because infinity minus 1 is again nearly equal to infinity. Means out of infinity, if you are going to remove any one term, it is nearly equal to again infinity. So therefore out of this infinite number of expressions, we are going to remove one expression, so therefore it is nearly equal to infinity. So therefore this value is again nearly equal to x. So therefore x is equal to e to the power of y plus x. So now I am going to apply the logarithm with a base e on the both sides. So therefore log x base e is equal to logarithm of e y plus x with a base e. So therefore this is going to come to the left hand side. So therefore we are going to get logarithm with a base x e equal to y plus x. So logarithm of e with the base e is again 1. So therefore we are going to get y plus x. Now we are going to do the differentiation with respect to x on the both sides. So dy by dx of ln x is nothing but 1 by x is equal to dy by dx plus 1, because differentiation of d by dx of logarithm with a base x is equal to 1 by x. So by using this property I have made this one. So dy by dx is equal to, I am going to take this one to the left hand side, we are going to get 1 by x minus 1. So if you take LCM as x, we are going to get 1 minus x by x. So therefore we can conclude that dy by dx is equal to 1 minus x by x. So this is the correct solution of this question. So the derivative of this expression is equal to 1 minus x by x. So now we are going to solve the 33rd question. See the question here. The solution of d square plus 4 into y is equal to sin x whole square is. So we have to find what is the solution of this differential equation we need to figure out. So out of these 4 options, option D is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So this is a differential equation, which is d square plus 4 into y is equal to sin x whole square. So for this equation we have to find what is the solution we need to figure out. Generally solution is equal to, it is a summation of the complementary solution plus the particular integral. So if you want to find what is the complementary solutions, means the input should be equal to 0. So therefore d square plus 4 into y is equal to 0. It indicates that d square plus 4 is equal to 0. So if you take 4 to the RHS, we are going to get d square is equal to minus 4. So if you take the square root of the both sides, we are going to get d is equal to plus or minus 2i, or we can also get which is d is equal to 0 plus or minus 2i. Generally if the roots are the complex nature, which is a plus or minus ib, then the complementary solution will be always c1 into e to the power of a plus ib into x plus c2 into e to the power of a minus ib into x. So if you solve this equation, finally you are going to get in this format, which is e to the power of ax into a cos bx plus b sin bx. So this is the overall complementary solution. So by comparing this one, we can say a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 2. So you can substitute in this equation, finally you are going to get e to the power of 0x into a cos 2x plus b sin 2x, because we replaced a is equal to 0 and small b is equal to 2. Then we got this one. So e to the power of 0x is nothing but 1. So therefore complementary solution is equal to a cos 2x plus b sin 2x. So we have figured out the value of the complementary solution. So now we have to find the value of the particular integral, and then we have to add both of these to get the value of the solution of y. So now we are going to find the particular solution, which is ypi is equal to sin x whole square by d square plus 4. So now I am going to convert, which is sin square x in terms of cos, which is cos 2x is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x. So therefore sin square x is equal to 1 minus cos 2x by 2. So I am going to split the 2 into 2 parts. We are going to get 1 by 2 minus cos 2x by 2. So same thing I will written 1 by 2 minus cos 2x by 2 by d square plus 4. So I am going to splitting the denominator into 2 parts. So therefore I am going to get 1 by 2 by d square plus 4 minus half into cos 2x by d square plus 4. So now I can write this is half into, I can write which is half into e to the power of 0x. So therefore this is the input is exponential. So therefore here you have to replace d by a, where a is the coefficient of x. So therefore e to the power of 0x. So 0 is called as the a. So therefore you have to replace d by 0 in this term. So therefore you are going to get 1 by 2 by, in place of d replaced by 0. So 0 square plus 4 is again 4. So 1 by 2 4 is nothing but 1 by 8 you are going to get here. But for this term, here the input is cos 2x. So therefore whenever the input is cos ax plus b, then you have to replace d square by minus a square. So d square is equal to minus a square, where a is equal to 2. So minus 2 whole square is nothing but minus 4. So replace a by 2. So that's it, minus of 2 whole square is minus 4. So if you replace d square is equal to minus 4, you are going to get here minus 4 plus 4 is again 0. So therefore you don't have to do this one. If it is going to happen, then you have to go for the derivative, the first derivative. So therefore the derivative of d square plus 4 is again 2d, but you have to multiply by some factor which is x here. So therefore you can see x by 2 into 2 is 4. So x by 4 into, so now what I am going to do is simply this is 4. So this is x by 4. So again I am going to do here, I am going to multiply and divide by d and d. So I am going to divide and multiply by d on up and also in the down part. So doing d into d is again d square, and this is d of cos 2x, but d square is equal to minus 4. So therefore x by 4 into d square is equal to minus 4, but d is called as a differentiation. So differentiation of cos 2x is minus sin 2x into 2. So therefore minus minus cancels, so 2 ones are 2 2s are. So therefore x into sin 2x by 4 2s are 8. So therefore 1 by 8 minus x into sin 2x by 4 2s are 8. So therefore this is the particular integral solution of this equation. So we know the value of complementary solution, and we also know the value of the particular integral solution. So now just we need to add the both the terms in order to get the value of the y. So we have figured the value of the complementary solution, which is a cos 2x plus b sin 2x, and also we have figured the value of the particular integral solution, which is 1 by 8 minus x by 8 into sin 2x. Now if you want to know what is the actual solution, it is the summation of the complementary solution and also the particular integral solution. So you have to add these two things to get the resultant solution. So this is the resultant solution. So this is the actual solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 34th question. See the question here. A box contains 5 black and 5 red balls. 2 balls are randomly picked one after the another from the box without replacement. The probability for both balls being red is. So basically there is a box, it is going to contain 5 black balls and also 5 red balls. So we are going to pick the ball one after the another, means we are not going to keep it back, we are going to place with ourselves. Then what is the probability of both the balls being red? So out of these 4 options, option D 2 by 9 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So here there is a box, it is going to contain 5 black balls and also 5 red balls. So we are going to take the ball one after the another. So we are going to take the 2 balls one after the another. So what is the probability that both the balls are being red? We need to figure out. So we are not going to replace it back, means we are going to keep it ourselves, means we are not going to keep it inside the box. Then what is the probability of the 2 balls being red? We need to figure out. See here, initially there are 5 black balls on the 5 red balls. So now I am going to choose a red ball. So therefore the probability is the number of red balls are 5, by overall balls are 5 plus 5, which is 10. So the first probability of the first ball being red is 5 by 10. So now we remove the red ball. So if you want to remove the second red ball, then there are now actually 5 black balls but only 4 red balls. So what is the probability of the red? So therefore 4 by 5 plus 4, which is 9. So 4 by 9 is the probability of the second ball, but we have to remove both the balls. So therefore if means an event is going to happen only if you do event 1 and event 2. So therefore we can say event 1 and event 2 means it has to be multiplication. So therefore you have to go for the multiplication. Event or event 2 means we have to go for the addition, but even and event 2 means nothing, we have to go for the multiplication. So therefore 5 by 10 into 4 by 9, which is 2 by 9. So therefore 2 by 9 is the correct solution of this question. See, the overall event is going to happen only when event 1 and the event 2, if both happens, then only the overall event is going to get happen. So therefore we have to go for the multiplication, which is the overall solution is 2 by 9. So the probability of choosing the first ball as red, which is 5 by 10, and the probability of choosing the second ball as red is 4 by 9. So if you want to choose the 2 balls as red, then definitely the net probability is the multiplication of the P1 and P2. So you are going to get the solution as 2 by 9. So now we are going to solve the 35th question. See the question here. X cube plus x sin x function is. So we have to find what is the nature of this function x cube plus x sin x. So out of these 4 options, no option is the correct, means everything is a wrong solution. So now we are going to find the actual solution of this question. See now the function f of x is equal to x cube plus x sin x. So now I want to check whether it is an even or odd or constant function or the periodic function or not. See, f of minus x means replace x by minus x, which is minus x whole cube plus minus x into sine of minus x. But minus x cube is nothing but minus x cube plus here sine of minus x is minus sine x. So minus into minus is plus. So therefore minus x cube plus x sine x. So you can see clearly that here f of minus x is not equal to f of x. So therefore we can say it is not even an even function. And similarly f of minus x is not equal to minus of f of x. So therefore we can say it is not an even odd function. And also here f of t plus capital T. So you do any substitution, it will be never be equal. So therefore we can say f of t plus capital T will never be equal to f of t. So simply we can say it is not even a periodic function. See, as the x value changes, this function is also going to change, the value is going to change. So we can say it is not even a constant function. So therefore simply we can say it is not a constant function, it is not a periodic function, it is not a even signal, and it is not even a odd signal. So all the options are wrong for this question. So now we are going to solve the 36th question. See the question here. Integration of dx by x into under root over x square minus a square is. So we have to find what is the integration of this. We need to figure out. So out of these four options, option D 1 by a secant inverse of x by a is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So here in the question they are given that we have to find what is the value of the integration of dx by x into under root over x square minus a square. We need to figure out. So therefore here I am going to assume that x is equal to a secant theta. See, whenever there is a x square minus a square means we can assume x is equal to a secant theta, or also we can assume x is equal to a cosecant theta. You can apply any of the thing, still you are going to get the same result. So here I am going to assume x is equal to a secant theta. Then I am going to do the differentiation with respect to theta. So therefore dx by d theta is equal to a is a constant value, a into differentiation of secant theta is secant theta into tan theta. So therefore secant theta into tan theta, and d theta I am going to take it to the right side. Then I am going to get dx is equal to a secant theta tan theta into d theta. So therefore what I am going to do is I am going to substitute all this in the above equation. Integration of dx is equal to a secant theta tan theta d theta. I have replaced dx by this equation, and similarly x is equal to a secant theta under root over here x is equal to a secant theta whole square minus a square. So you can see clearly here a square is a common. So therefore now I am going to take here a square as a common. So therefore I am going to get secant square theta minus 1. So secant square theta minus 1 is nothing but tan square theta. So therefore this is a square into tan square theta. So you are going to get finally this will become a into tan theta, and remaining everything is same as the previous one. So here a secant theta cancels, and tan theta cancels. So only thing is going to present is 1 by a into d theta. So integration of 1 by a d theta. As 1 by a is a constant, you can take it outside the integration. So 1 by a into integration of d theta. So integration of d theta is nothing but theta by a. So therefore we got the value of I is equal to theta by a. So now we have to find what is the value of theta. But x is equal to a secant theta. So x is equal to a secant theta. X by a is equal to secant theta. So theta is equal to secant inverse of x by a. So in place of theta I am going to substitute secant inverse of x by a. So therefore I is equal to 1 by a into secant inverse of x by a. So this is the actual value of this integration of this equation, which will going to give you 1 by a into secant inverse of x by a. This is the correct solution of this question. So I take this opportunity to discuss some of the important formulas, which is d by dx of sin inverse x is equal to minus d by dx of cos inverse x is equal to 1 by under root over 1 minus x square. Similarly, d by dx of tan inverse x is equal to d by dx of cos inverse x is equal to 1 by 1 plus x square. And similarly, d by dx of secant inverse x is equal to minus d by dx of cosecant x inverse is equal to 1 by mod x into under root over x square minus 1. See, these are the very important formulas. These are definitely used in the examination because most of the questions are based on these concepts. So I have given a small amount of formula revision. So now we are going to solve the 37th question. See the question here. If alpha, beta and gamma are the roots of the equation x cube plus px square plus qx plus p is equal to 0, then what is the value of the tan inverse alpha plus tan inverse beta plus tan inverse gamma? So out of these four options, option B n pi is the correct solution of this question. See, basically they have given a equation, and they also given that alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of this equation. So based on this, we have to find what is the value of the tan inverse alpha plus tan inverse beta plus tan inverse gamma. We need to figure out. So out of the four options, option B, n pi is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So here the question they are given that alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of the equation. The equation is x cube plus px square plus qx plus p is equal to 0. Then I want what is the summation of the roots, which is alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus 1 over the power of 1 into coefficient of x to the power of 3 minus 1 by coefficient of x to the power of 3. See, this is x to the power of 3 minus 1 is x square. So coefficient of x square is p and the coefficient of x cube is 1. So minus 1 into p by 1 is again minus p. Whereas alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to minus 1 whole to the power of, there are product of two roots, so therefore square coefficient of x to the power of 3 minus 2 by coefficient of x cube. So therefore you can see coefficient of x to the power of 3 minus 2 is nothing but x to the power of 1. The coefficient of x to the power of 1 is q. So minus 1 whole square is 1 into q by 1. It is equal to q. And similarly alpha into beta into gamma is equal to, it's a product of three roots, which is minus 1 whole to the power of 3 into coefficient of x to the power of 3 minus 3 by coefficient of x to the power of 3. Then you can see clearly x to the power of 3 minus 3 is nothing but x to the power of 0. So therefore x to the power of 0 coefficient is p. So p by the coefficient of x cube is 1 and this is minus 1. So minus 1 into p by 1 is again minus p. So we know the value of the alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus p. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to q, and alpha into beta into gamma is equal to minus p. So now we have to find what is the value of the tan inverse alpha plus tan inverse beta plus tan inverse gamma. We need to figure out. See, now before I solve this question, let me tell a small concept, which is suppose theta is equal to summation of theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. Then I am going to apply tan on the both sides. Then tan theta is equal to tan of theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. I am going to assume this is A and this is B. So theta 1 is equal to A and theta 2 plus theta 3 is B. So tan of A plus B is equal to tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A into tan B. So therefore tan of theta 1 plus tan of theta 2 plus theta 3 by 1 minus tan of theta 1 into tan of theta 2 plus theta 3. Again I have to apply same principle here. So tan theta 2 plus theta 3 is tan theta 2 plus tan theta 3 by 1 minus tan theta 2 into tan theta 3. I have to substitute here also and here also. So I have replaced the same of this one. So tan theta 2 plus tan theta 3 by 1 minus tan theta 2 tan theta 3. Same thing I have did for here also. So if you do the simplification of this expression, we are going to get finally tan theta 1 plus tan theta 2 plus tan theta 3 minus of tan theta 1 into tan theta 2 into tan theta 3 by 1 minus of tan theta 1 into tan theta 2 plus tan theta 2 into tan theta 3 plus tan theta 3 into tan theta 1. So this is the equation we are going to get finally. So this is the equation tan theta is equal to. So now I have assumed theta 1 is equal to tan inverse of alpha, theta 2 is equal to tan inverse of beta, and theta 3 is equal to tan inverse of gamma. So therefore this is theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. So this is equal to theta. This theta value we need to figure out basically. So one more important principle, which is tan inverse of tan x is always equal to x. So this is the expression, overall expression. So we have to find what is the value of theta, we need to figure out. So tan theta is equal to, here theta 1 is equal to tan inverse of alpha. So I have already told you tan of tan inverse x is equal to x. So by using the same principle, we are going to get alpha plus beta plus gamma minus alpha into beta into gamma by 1 minus of alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha. Already we know the value of alpha plus beta plus gamma, which is minus p, minus of alpha into beta into gamma is of minus p by 1 minus of alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to q. So 1 minus q. So minus p minus of minus is again plus. So therefore minus p plus p is minus p plus p are going to get cancelled. We are going to get the value of 0. So tan theta is equal to 0. So whenever the tan theta is equal to 0, we can say theta is equal to n pi. So therefore only when n is equal to integers means it can go from 0, plus 1, plus 2 up to infinity, again minus 1, minus 2 also. At all these values the theta is equal to, or we can say the tan function is 0. So therefore simply we can say that n is going to belongs to integers. So at theta is equal to n pi, this function is going to get satisfied. So we have to find what is the value of theta. So theta is equal to n pi. So n pi is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 38th question. See the question here. The particular solution of the differential equation d square y by dx square plus 2 into dy by dx plus 5y is equal to 0, satisfying the condition y of 0 is equal to 0 and y dash of 0 is equal to 1. So basically here they are asking only the particular solution. At these conditions, what is the particular solution we need to figure out. So out of these four options, C is the correct solution of this question, which is y is equal to half into e to the power of minus x into sin 2x is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So this is a differential equation they are given the question, which is d square y by dx square plus 2 into dy by dx plus 5y is equal to 0. So for here, so if you are going to solve this equation, we are going to get a general solution. But for that, for these initial conditions, we have to know what is that particular solution we need to figure out. The initial conditions are y of 0 is equal to 0 and y dash of 0 is equal to 1. So now I am going to convert into differential form, which is d square plus 2d plus 5 is equal to 0. So this is like a square plus bx plus c. So if you are going to find the roots, which is minus b plus or minus under root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. So by using that principle, we are going to get this value. So if you solve this one, we are going to get minus 2 plus or minus under root over 4 minus 20 by 2. So 4 minus 20 is minus 16. Under root over minus 16 is 4i. So therefore minus 2 plus or minus 4a by 2, which is minus 1 plus or minus 2a. So therefore this is in the format of a plus or minus ib. So for this, the general equation is e to the power of ax into a cos bx plus capital B sin bx. So therefore this is the general complementary solution of this equation. So therefore we can say y is equal to e to the power of, in place of a substitute minus 1, in place of small b substitute 2. So therefore you are going to get y is equal to e to the power of minus x into a cos 2x plus b sin 2x. Because we have to do the derivative also, so now we are going to do the derivative of this function, which is minus into e to the power of minus x into, same thing I have written, plus e to the power of minus x into, the differentiation of cos 2x is nothing but minus 2x sin 2x, whereas differentiation of sin 2x is cos 2x into 2b. Because by using this principle, uv whole derivative is equal to u derivative v plus uv derivative. So by using this principle, I have made the derivative. So now we have to substitute these initial conditions and we have to find the value of the constant a and b, coefficients a and b, and we have to substitute in this general equation to get the value of the particular solution. So we got the value of y. This is the equation we have got. So now y of 0 is equal to 0 means x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. So substituting this equation, x is equal to 0 means y is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is equal to e to the power of minus 0 is 1 into, here cos 0 is nothing but 1. So a into 1 is again a, plus sin 0 is again 0. So therefore plus 0. So this value we are going to get finally a is equal to 0. Again we have already did the derivative of the function, which is this is the equation. So now y dash of 0 is equal to 1 means x is equal to 0 and y dash is equal to 1. So therefore this value is equal to 1 is equal to e to the power of minus 0 is again 1, minus 1 into cos 0 is 1. So 1 into a is again a, plus, but sin 0 is again 0. So plus 0 plus e to the power of minus 0 is 1 into sin 0 is again 0, but cos 0 is again 1. So 1 into 2b is again 2b, but a is equal to 0. So this term will become total 0. So 1 into 2b is again 2b. So therefore b is equal to half. So we got a is equal to 0 and b is equal to half. Substituting this equation, we are going to get finally is equal to half into e to the power of minus x into sin 2x. Because a is equal to 0 and b is equal to half. So if you substitute here, we are going to get this particular solution. So this is the correct solution of this question. So now you can see clearly. So let me tell a small concept here. Suppose if the roots are different, then y is equal to c1 into e to the power of m1x plus c2 into e to the power of m2x. But if the roots are equal, then y is equal to c1 plus c2x into e to the power of m1x. But if there are complex roots which are a plus or minus ib, then y is equal to e to the power of ax into a cos bx plus b sin bx. But if the complex roots are unequal, a plus or minus ib and a plus or minus ib, then y is equal to e to the power of ax into c1 plus c2x into a cos bx plus b sin bx. So the number of roots is equal to the number of terms we are going to get. So you can see clearly there are two roots, so two terms we are going to get. And here there are also two roots, so therefore here if you do this, if you take this part inside, you are going to get again two terms. And here also we are going to get two roots which are a plus ib and a minus ib. So if you take this part inside, so you are going to get two terms. Similarly here you can see clearly there are four roots. So if you do the multiplication everything, you are going to get four individual terms. So always the number of roots is equal to the number of terms you are going to get in this equation. So now we are going to solve the 39th question. See the question here. Answer the quadratic equation x square plus px plus q is equal to 0 if p and q are roots of the equation. The values of p and q are. See, this is the equation. They have given quadratic equation and they are also told that p and q are the roots of this equation. Then what is the value of p and q we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option C is the correct solution of this question. See, p and q can be 0, 0 or 1, -2. So C is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See, they are given the quadratic equation which is x square plus px plus q is equal to 0, and they also told that p comma q are the roots of this equation. So therefore the sum of the roots is equal to -1 all to the power of only one term we are going to take. So therefore -1 all to the power of 1 into coefficient of x to the power of highest power is 2. So 2 minus 1 by coefficient of x square, which is -1 all to the power of 1 is again -1 into coefficient of x to the power of 1 is p by coefficient of x square is 1. So we are going to get minus p. And also p into q, the product of roots is equal to -1 all to the power of 2 into the coefficient of x to the power of 2 minus 2 by coefficient of x square. The coefficient of x to the power of 0 is q by the coefficient of x square is 1. So again -1 square is 1. So 1 into q by 1 is nothing but q. So therefore we can say p plus q is equal to minus p and p into q is equal to q. So these are the things we are going to get. So if you take this one, p plus q is equal to minus p, if you take p to the right side, we are going to get q is equal to minus 2p. And also pq is equal to q. So if you take the q to the LHS, we are going to get pq minus q is equal to 0. So if you take q as a common, we are going to get q into p minus 1 is equal to 0. So if we equate to 0, we can get either q is equal to 0 or p is equal to 1. So therefore when q is equal to 0, if you substitute q is equal to 0 in this equation, then definitely we are going to get p is also equal to 0. But when p is equal to 1, if you substitute in this equation, we are going to get q is equal to -2. So therefore we can say p comma q can be either 0, 0 or 1, -2. So therefore p comma q can be either 0, 0 or 1, -2. Means 0, 0 or 1, -2 only can satisfy this equation with the roots of p comma q with this type of equation. So therefore we can say simply that 0, 0 and 1, -2. So these are the exact solutions of this question. So now we are going to solve the last question of this lecture. See the question here. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation which are x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0, then what is the value of the alpha to the power of 3n plus beta to the power of 3n is? So out of these four options, option B, 2 is the correct solution of this question. See, in the question they are given a quadratic equation and they are also told that alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. But we need to find what is the value of alpha to the power of 3n plus beta to the power of 3n. So out of these four options, option B, 2 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So basically they are given some equation which is a quadratic equation, x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0, and they told that alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. So you can see clearly this is the format of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the roots of this equation are minus b plus or minus under root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. So by using that property, we are going to get like this: -1 plus or minus under root over 1 square minus 4 into 1 into 1 by 2. So if you solve this one, we are going to get -1 plus or minus under root over minus 3 by 2. So you can take -1 under root over minus 1 is I. So therefore finally you are going to get -1 plus or minus under root over 3 into I by 2. So therefore the roots are, two roots are you are going to get, let me, so alpha and beta are the roots. So therefore alpha is equal to -1 plus root 3i by 2 and beta will be opposite side. So -1 minus root 3i by 2. So therefore I am going to split into half. So therefore minus half by 2 plus root 3i by 2, beta is equal to minus half minus root 3i by 2. So in the power system I have already told you the operator A is equal to 1 angle 120 degree in the polar format. But if you are going to convert into rectangular format, we are going to get -1 plus root 3i by 2. And similarly A square is equal to 1 at an angle of 240 degree. If you convert into rectangular format, we are going to get minus half minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. And similarly A cube is equal to 1 at an angle of 360 degree, it is equal to 1. So you can, if you compare these both equations, we can see clearly that alpha is equal to A and beta is equal to A square. So therefore alpha is equal to A and beta is equal to A square. So now we have to find what is the value of the alpha to the power of 3n plus beta to the power of 3n. So I can do like this: a to the power of m into n is equal to a to the power of m all to the power of n. So by using this property, I can write alpha cube all to the power of n plus beta cube all to the power of n. So here alpha is equal to a whereas beta is equal to a square. So replace those things, we are going to get a cube all the power of n plus a square whole cube all the power of n. So here a cube all the power of n plus here 2 into 3 is nothing but a to the power of 6 all the power of n. So a to the power of 6 I can write a cube into a cube, but a cube is equal to 1. So therefore substitute here 1 to the power of n plus 1 into 1 all the power of n. So this value is 1, this value is also 1. So therefore answer will be 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So 2 is the correct solution of this question. See, this is basically an operator which is 1 at an angle of 120 degree is equal to minus 1 plus root 3 I by 2, and a square will be minus 1 minus root 3 I by 2. So by using this property we have did this question. So answer 2 is the correct solution of this question. So by this lecture we have successfully completed the 40 questions in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever we upload a new video, the direct notice comes on mobile. If any improvements in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. Please do watch all our videos in the YouTube itself, so that our channel will grow and it will reach to the more number of students. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Keep smiling, take care and bye bye.